Hi everybody, thank you for coming to my channel. This is Wendy, and today I was cleaning my area. The last few videos, you might have noticed how dirty my desk has been. I was working on a special order journal, finally finished, it's gone, and I have, of course, a bunch of scraps on my table. And I'm like, well, what is something quick I can make with these? And I made me a butterfly tag. Well, it kind of looks like a butterfly. I think it does. So this is just out of scraps that are literally on my desk. And I inked it and made a little, some lines to journal on. This could also be used as a tuck spot, depending on how you glue it on. You can have tuck spots, or, you can glue it onto a page or a pocket, glue it onto a solid piece of paper, and use it as decor. So I thought, this is really quick. I thought I'd show you how I did it. But here is the finished butterfly. So what you need to do is cut you out a circle, of course, and I hate cutting circles because my circles never look pretty. I don't care how slow I do it, but let's see, my circle, I have a 5-inch circle, okay, and you can use it out of whatever you want. I have some just pink cardstock, and then I had this image that I didn't care for the pictures on it, so I'm going to cover that up. So I thought I'd show you how I did this, and let's do it this one. So this is one of those no thinking projects, okay? So if you have some scraps, or if you're like me and you save all of those strips, in fact, I'll use a couple of them. If you save any of the strips, this would be a good spot to use them on. I'll take a couple of those out. I have a couple magazine, I got some magazines in here too. Let's see. I like one. All right. Let me put that back where it belongs. So, what I first to start with, I get some glue, or you can use tacky glue, wet glue. Something to start the base, because we're going to do 2 layers is what I did. So the first time and this is what you have to do. You guys have to randomly pick stuff up and don't even think about what it looks like. And then start, I do try to get the links to cover the whole thing. You don't have to overlap them, just lay them down. This one almost covers the whole. Let's do just grab and go, grab and go, grab and go, you guys. And then if you got end parts here, I mean, they will be covered up again, but sometimes I just like to add just a piece. Okay. Oops, so then it's not sticking. Okay, so then once you get the first layer on, and that's usually straight across. See, you have that. Oops, let me it's humid today here, guys. Nothing's wanting to stick for me. Of course, I'm using some cheap glue sticks. Anyway, okay, so the next part you're going to do, and you do this multiple ways, but what I like to do is, okay, so I kind of get the center. All right, so this side, I just lay out some glue. You can come back and touch the glue up. And then what I do is I kind of go from the center and work my way out. And kind of angle them, and maybe you want to do the bottom half a different direction. I didn't do that last time, which you could, And basically, you just keep, I have to make smaller strips because I want them more defined. Oh, here's a brown one. Here's another. I think the thinner the strips, they look better. Sometimes I might want to add an extra little bit on there. All right. Oops. I even have little small index cards that I was using for tabs. And, you know, let's add it. Let's put it on there. Okay, so once you get one side, then you go over and smear it down. Oops. My glue stick. I'm having glue issues today, apparently. All right, so I smear that around and you just kind of start again. Maybe I'll go this way. Where's all my little scraps at? Where's my little scraps? They're buried. I want to make sure I get some all right. You don't have to overdo it either, you know. And I usually touch it to make sure I covered all the glue that I smeared on, which I did. Okay, so let me push that over. Make sure they're all down. If you have loose ones, loose spots, you can come back in and, you know, add some glue or wet glue. So this is truly a scrappy thing. So I just usually flip it over and trim off the excess. And I'm going to save these because I think I might do this one. I might, you know what, we're going to play after this. So if you don't want to throw away those little bitty scraps, well, let's see what we can do with them. Okay. Let me put those in a pile. All right, so now you got this circle. All right, and you got to figure out how you want it to go, how what direction you kind of want your strips to go. You know, it could go downward, however you want to orientate it. Okay, so once you figure that out, I usually get a pencil or a marker, whatever. And so from the, so where the head is, I make, and I estimate it, I make a V. And then I follow, and then I make a V. Okay? Then I turn it. So we're on the sides where the wings are. And I make a V. And the same way here, opposite side. So I made 4 V's. Okay. Now you're going to be like, all right, Wendy, let's cut them out. So at first, I cut them out just like this. Because by no means is this going to be a perfect, pretty, you know, fly, you know, butterfly. So, oops. I cut these out. And this one. All right. Now, you might like it like this. Now let's show the back. You know, just the triangles cut out, because once you put, oops, the center on, you know, it automatically starts looking like a butterfly. Otherwise, you can get, if you've got a corner corner rounder. You can try just rounding off these corners. Or you can do it with your, scissors and just hand do it, like, just curve them, just like that. So that's the, let me put that up. Okay, so that's the basis of my butterfly. So now I just want to figure out a center. So with this one, I used a piece of scrap fabric and I just split the top part to make it kind of look like antennas. I really like that look. You could go with a piece of scrap paper, which maybe, oh, here, I even have a, okay, so let's do this. Well, let's just tear this all the way down. All right. What I'm going to do is do it from the bottom all the way up to the top, and then I'm going to leave me some excess. So what I will do, let's glue this down. Oh, I know what I wanted to use. I wanted to use I keep changing my glue, but I just want the fine line straight down the middle. All right, so then tap that, and scissors or pinking shears, I'm gonna go ahead and go down the center of this. And maybe you want to kind of, I'll just leave it like that. And then I have a piece of, maybe I'll just, oh, I like the printed side. So like I said, this is let's not think about this, Wendy, and just use up some scraps. Okay, so here is, oops. And then what I do, I will come back, and of course, I have to ink it. Got to ink this. So, and I like to make these really dark edges. I just think that it will pop a little bit more than normal. And if you guys have any colored ink, this would be fun to add a little of your colored ink. That's why I added some pinks and purples to this one, because it is a butterfly, so I wanted it to be colorful. So now, you guys, the ones that like to sew, you could add some stitching. In fact, I'm going to add some stitching to this one just to give it some more, focus. All right, you're going like, Wendy, what are you doing to the back? That's okay, because I think I'm going to put some scrappy bits of writing paper on the back. A little different from just stamping my lines. Okay, so, because we still have to add our little focal points on the front too. Give me just a moment. I'm going to sew this so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, I added some, oops, I got threads over me. Okay, so I added some stitches. let's see if you guys can see. Oops. There we go. I added some stitches down the center and then around each wing. So here are the different ones. So I can leave it as is, or I can add a little something, which of course, you know, I'm going to add a little something because I've got all these, I got all this stuff. All right, so this time I will probably add some scrappy fabric. Let's see here. Maybe I want to roll it up a little. Oops. All right. Roll this up a little. Maybe add a little scrappy piece of paper. Sometimes I'm thinking, guys, sorry, I was looking at what scraps I want to put on there. So, and I think I'll do it closer to, and maybe some, so actually, all right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually staple this little cluster, but I think I want another piece. All right, I'm going to staple this. I just got a little staple. Okay, and then what I will do, let me glue that down. I like stapling. When I'm doing a cluster, I like to staple it first. Because I kind of like seeing the staple, the metal. Sometimes I don't like the staple to show, other times I do. And then I think I'm going to put that right there. And then, let's see, do I have any words today that I clipped off that I might want to use? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Don't ask me why. This one is gonna be, maybe people will stop and go, huh, wonder what she means by that. I love those quirky things. All right, let me put my little word. All right. Let's see how. Oops, here. Let me put my. It'll probably help. Okay, can you guys see what my butterfly says? Earthman. Don't ask me why. I just thought that was an interesting word. So here is my butterfly. Now, for the tag, since I mutilated it with some stitches on the back, what I will probably do, just so I can still be able to have some writing on it, and like I said, I'm still using some of these scraps up. Oh, I do have a piece of coffee dyed paper, but you know what? I'm thinking I'm liking these strips that I had. Maybe I'll put it in the middle here. So And I'll put that there. Okay. Because I don't mind. I like scrappy writing spots. Those don't bother me none. So I will probably put one here. And we'll put those on the underneath side. You're going to be like, what in the heck is she doing? I do this with a lot of my scraps. For just scrappy tags or on scrapbook pages in a journal, in one of our journals, when it's just, oops, when you have a pattern page like this, sometimes I just glue bits of scrap paper and have little journaling spots. And I'm like, because I write on them. I'm like, surely other people will. And then I'll just use up this whole thing. Maybe, oops, I'll go this way. And I'll go this way. And I'll put all those under, where's my, oh boy. All right. So I'll put that one there. And I'll just put this one here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do for the back side. So I will use some of my Elaine's tacky glue. I'm almost out of glue. I gotta go stockpile my glue again. Anybody got extra glue, send it my way. It's going crazy how some of the places have increased the prices of glue. And I don't even use the expensive stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to, but I noticed Walmart increased their prices on their glue sticks, their Craft Bond and the fabric tack. And I was like, are you kidding me? I go, what do you do? What do you do? You need the glue. I think out of everything, because junk journaling really doesn't cost you anything, because you can literally use your junk and junk mail and, you know, junk papers that you can, you know, get out of the recycling bin and stuff. So that actual part, you know, it doesn't cost anything, but to attach it all, I think the glue is what, you know, costs the most. Because let's face it, we go through the glue. I know some people like to, do I want to leave it like that, or do I want to make it smaller? I'll just do the whole thing. I know some use as little as glue possible, and then others like cake it on. I'm a little bit of both. Sometimes I'm like frugal with it, and other times I'm like, nope, I gotta slather this on. Okay, so this is the back of my journal tag. And I'll probably do a little, I'll probably stamp something, maybe a couple. Here I got an 8 stamp. Don't ask me why there's an 8 stamp. There. This will be 8s. 8s, 8s, and 8s. Sometimes I just like to do it overlap to give it a little different of effect. I could do it there. And I do have, let's see, I have an X. Maybe I'll put an X stamp here. And here. Whatever. Whatever. Alright, so this is my finished scrappy butterfly. And then here's the back for those that want to journal on it. just little spots to, you know, whatever, because this is truly a scrap one. And then I have two made, vastly different looks. Another thing you can do with the edges is add some washi tape. I might do that with another one, is fold washi tape along the edges. And those are it for the butterflies. So next, I have this other circle. This is my template of my circle. I've been saving it so I don't lose it. All right, so I have little bits and pieces of scrap, which I would normally, you know, just I'll pitch what I don't use this time around. But let's make another scrappy tag, and what I'll do, let's use some of the Elaine's tacky. I'll smear it out. Make sure to get those edges. Okay. Now, those little bits and pieces, this is another don't think. Don't think, Wendy. Don't think. Just make sure you cover everything. Every bit and pieces. Oh my goodness. I'm just, oh look, this one's all attached. Let's just, I got a lot of white, but that's okay because we'll decorate it. Let's just make sure. Almost just want to sprinkle it all on here and be like, I have a lot of the edges. Let's see, got here. Did I felt wet glue somewhere. Oh, here. Is there more? I think there's, what else is there here? I think there's a little spot. All right. Now look, that little bit, I could probably add some more. You know what? Why don't we just use the rest up? I mean, what are we going to do with it? We're going to throw it away. So instead of throwing away, let's give it some purpose. You know? Make this the one place you can just smash stuff on. Oh, here I got another scrap. Oh, it's sticking to my finger. I'm going to use up every little bit of this. Okay. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to squirt it out that much. Alright, let's just use it as a that needs to be glued down. There we go. How are you guys with your scraps? Do you guys freak out when you're, you know, laying stuff down? This is a great way to just oh my gosh, if you guys can hear my puppy, sorry. My brother must be walking him or something. All right, a little bit more. I got a little bit. Oh, let's just do. I guess it don't matter. It's both a white. Just stick it down, Wendy. All right. And then I think, oh, I got 2 more pieces, you guys, from that scrappy pile over there, if you remember. All right. This could be a really fun focal point for a cover of a journal, and you could put the book plate or the title of the journal. Wait a minute, guys. I got glue on my finger. All right, so now that we've got it all on, let's trim off. Boy, I got some glue sticking to me. Let's trim this off. And you know, you guys can, this is funny because, okay, so these little bits I will throw away, but you could just keep doing this and keep adding these bits of scraps, you know, until you stop, you know, till you don't have to keep cutting the layers off. Okay, so that is what I'm going to throw away, is this little bit here. Which, to me, that's not too bad. So I don't mind that. Okay. Now, this is where I will, actually, I will get my little makeup sponge. And I think I'm going to go in and dirty it up some. The reason why I'm using up my scraps is my aunt was making fun of me at how dirty my desk was. And she knows when you're working on a certain project, it gets messy. So I'm just going to, and I will probably want to make the edges darker than what I would normally do. This is also a good project to randomly do stitches on your sewing machine, because in fact this might be another one I add stitches to. Because I think it'll look good. But for those that don't want to, you don't have to. All right, and if you're like me and like to add a little bit of color on some of these, because I just like the idea of maybe some green and blue, just a little, and more of those white spots, kind of gives it some multiple, I don't know, I just like it. Just like it. Okay, so I will end up sewing around this, but let's see what else we can do here. I still have that never-ending piece of scrap fabric. I have some tracing paper. I have a book page. I mean, a plain sheet. I still have some scraps. So, let me use what scraps I have. What do I want it to do is the question. Do I want it to be a focal point? Let's see. But then again, I don't want to cover up all of the goodiness that we did. So What do you think, guys? I like the different, maybe just a littler piece. And then I'll scoot that down a little. And then I have some music. And then I'm just talking to myself. You guys know I am. I'm just trying to talk myself to this, through this. I'm going to use this. I don't know why. Sometimes I like to put kind of, well, what am I talking about? Everything. I always put everything random. And it says, and it proved to be a grand success. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. And then you, I figure you can write your name or, you know, stamp. So I think I'll leave it at that. Oh, I do have a little bit, some more pop of color. Maybe I'll leave that. Like that. And I'll ink the edges. Okay, so what I do, so when I have my, what I think I like, I flip it over. And let's hope I can do the same order. Usually it never comes close, but you know, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Da dun dun. Have any of you guys heard that? Okay, so I have an addiction. I'll tell you guys about. It's TikTok. I don't go to bed until I watch some TikTok videos. Hilarious things ever. And see, it's already backwards, but that's okay. Anyway, I watch TikTok videos before I go to bed. And we're talking, it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have to watch some of the TikToks. And I'm like, there's this one that's going around where these, it's a song, and it's, I am my mother's savage daughter. That song has been stuck in my head for like a week now. I ended up going on YouTube, looking up the actual, you know, some of this different versions of the song, but it's called I Am My Mother's Savage Daughter. And it's like a folk song because it's got a story to it. It's pretty cool, but I'll tell you what, be warned that the tune sticks in your head. Oh, and look at that. I was busy chatting and I glued the opposite. Well, this one said I include the opposite side of what I wanted. So this one says personal voice that came through. Okay, well, that's what it's meant to be then. What it is meant to be. And let's see. Let's add a little bit. All right, so I don't like putting stuff on actual spaces for a person to be because this way somebody can write here or add their own titles or something, because I will use this in a journal that I will give away or sell, you know, because I think it's pretty cool. Now, the back side, I can either leave it as is and just ink it, which we know we're going to ink it. because I can't go without inking. And I can leave it alone. I can add here, this, I have a fun stencil, you guys. Just wait till you see it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Here we go. I love this stencil. It is, of course, Tim Holtz. But it is, to me, it's such a funny stencil because it looks like coffee stains. And you know, I'm a huge coffee drinker. Huge. And it just looks like you splattered your coffee all over the place. I mean, how great is that? Somebody's gonna get this and like, man, did she put her coffee cup on here or what? So, alright. So, this, I'll probably, you know what, maybe I'll put, I got it. This is a great time to use a stamper. If you have a stamp or something that you guys like. I have a few. I don't have many stamps, but I do have, where is this one? That one's, let's do the date one. The date. Ugh, and all mine are dirty. My blocks and everything are so dirty. They're not even sticking because my block is dirty. Let's do this side. Oh my goodness. Oh, it doesn't even want to stick anyway. Alright, so what was... There we go. Have the date. Let me put this. Okay. We have the date. And if you give me, okay, so for this would be it if I wasn't going to sew. So I would just leave it just like this and either glue it on a, oops, hold on here. Go butterflies. All right. I would either glue it on a page, maybe around and make a circle pocket. It might go onto the front of a journal. Just like this. Or I might staple. This might be a good way to, because I was working with a circle notepad, might be a good way to staple and have some notes. A lot of stuff you can do with this. But let me do a quick stitch. I'm probably just do a couple sides. Let me show you what it's going to look like. I'm back. Okay, so I just did, let me get my piece of paper again. I just did some very, very, what I call sloppy stitches. And I just put a little bit in the front. Can you guys see? Okay, so that used up, and of course put a little stitch line back, but I don't care. I don't mind it. There's plenty of spaces to write on. So there we go. There's a scrappy circle. So we have butterflies and we have circles. And you know what? There is spots, because I didn't glue it down all the way, that I probably should have, I could have left more of tuck spots next time. So just so you guys know, you can leave tuck spots. And I probably could have did that with the front of these too, now that I think about it. Well, now that I know, I could have done tuck spots on the fronts as well to do little tags as well. I might still do something with this one. If I can find it in there. Yep. Anyway. Alrighty. That's what I have right now. I still have, I'll probably make some more until I use up all of these and I'll be done. And then I'll pick up my desk again with whatever I'm keeping, and I'm working back on some of my current journals. So hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe, make some butterflies, use up those scraps, because, you know, it just pushes yourself to, you know, do random things as much as you can. And then it gets your creativity flowing, because once you start thinking and coming up with little new ideas and stuff. So try it out. Let me know what you think. You guys have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you soon.